Yeah, sure.
All right, we're live. Painkiller Nearly, episode 188. A day late. I should
And a
ask
dollar short.
Taylor in advance. How did your trip go? I know that you're all. See, here's the thing. I balance this. On one hand, Taylor doesn't like his real life like put out there on the show a ton. On the other hand, I'm very fascinated by the real life, things that go down for a regular person. How was
Yeah,
your
it,
trip?
it was awesome. So went to my dad's place in Tampa. Got to see a Lightning game while I was there. Bought a T-shirt. That was neat. Uh, it's amazing how much more fun it is at the stadium when you're somewhere warm than in St. Louis, where it's like they had like a big patio out there where you could like have fun and drink before the game and whatnot. And it's like, oh, they don't have that back home. And I'm like, oh, because it's 28 degrees and snowing right now. It felt very safe walking around the city. I liked that. That and St. Pete, which are like two very close cities there in Tampa. Weather was great. I went fishing a ton, and I'm not usually a big fisher, but the first day we went out in kayaks in like a more calm like bay area and like kayaked around and like fished there, and I caught some trout and a couple other things and made some fish tacos that ended up being great. Then we went ocean fishing 2 days later, and that was way more fun than I thought it would be.
Do you get
We went
seasick?
over.
Is that a thing that
No,
ever impacts
no, I,
you?
I,
No.
I don't get seasick.
That's nice.
But yeah, I didn't even think about getting seasick. Yeah, I felt fine. It wasn't like a big boat or anything. I don't know if it's worse or better on big or small boats.
Big
Probably depends on the
boats,
person.
With big boats, you're less inclined to get seasick.
Oh, okay. This is a pretty small boat. It was like 4 people on the boat total, and went around and fished. And we fished this shipwreck, which is generous to call it a shipwreck because it was just like a boat that crashed there like 20 years ago, and now apparently all the fish like to hang out there. And so you go out there and you just cast right on top of it. And we were catching these things called sheepfish head or sheephead fish, and they, those pictures online you see of those teeth with they have people teeth.
Yeah.
Where like they have molars, like that's what these are. And so you catch them, and it's just big, just like big people teeth, and they're the most disgusting, horrible little fish, but they taste great.
My
And they're not
master
that
bid thee
little.
welcome,
They can
Taylor.
yeah. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, caught a ton of those, and so my dad's freezing them, and he's going to ship them to me so I can make those fish tacos again. But other than that, it was pretty relaxing time. A lot of fishing, a lot of sitting on the beach for one day. I had some cousins down there at the same time, so we met up with them.
We had a pretty similar weekend then.
Really?
Yeah. We went sailing, probably 5-6 hours. We stopped at several islands. Found a lot of buried treasure.
Wow.
Like 8 or 9 chests.
My brother literally told me, he goes, "Have you heard of this game called Sea of Thieves?" I was like, "Yes, I have." And he's like, "You gotta get it. I need someone to play with me because I'm playing by myself and I'm always in this one person little shitty boat and I just get torched no matter what happens."
We're
And I'm
coming
like,
for that ass.
Yeah.
Coming for that booty. Yeah,
He
me
even
and
said
my
that. He's
little
like,
squad.
I need 3 more people so I can get a galleon, I guess.
Do you have a custom sail yet?
No, fuck that. Like the game is nothing but cosmetics right now. We don't see. We're of the opposite mindset. We have the money for the sales, but we want people to underestimate us when they see us coming. So we got the white patchwork sail and the like the regular old boat. Like we have bought 0 cosmetics. I think Chiz has like a golden hook hand, but that's it.
Are you a like formidable ship at this point?
Well, see, that's the thing.
But all the
right.
ships are the same.
All
right?
the
Like,
ships are the same.
theirs may look way doper than yours, but it has
Does
all the
the
same
same
guns.
shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are you guys getting good at the game? Can you beat other
We are
four-man
very
ship?
good at the game. Yes.
Really?
Yes, we are very good with the teamwork. We all play PUBG together, so like teamwork is like second nature. Like everybody has their job. I'm doing the sales. One guy's always like when we get holes in the boat, like there's no communication required. Like I know that I'm patching holes and that Chiz is bailing water, and if we need a second bailer, he's down there right with him. Like one guy's always driving the ship. I'm always doing sales. We're always looking for boats. And see, the game's kind of a ripoff right now. They're calling it No Man's Sea because that game No Man's Sky was a big ripoff. They promised this intergalactic travel, and people played it. They were like, "Where's all the content?" That's what Sea of Thieves is right now. You don't progress at all. You don't get any new items. You don't upgrade your character at all other than cosmetics. You don't upgrade your boat at all other than cosmetics. And it's all fetch quests that are either there's 3 guilds that you get quests from. So you're either going to dig up buried treasure, which you don't even get to open and see cool shit. You just turn the chest in for a set amount of gold. You go catch pigs or chickens.
That's not fun.
Yeah, it's super lame. You go catch pigs or chickens for this other group, or you go fight skeletons for a third group, and those get pretty boring after a while.
There's
So it's a
literally
game
like
of errands.
3 fetch quests.
3 fetch quests, and you're out on the open seas. See, but we have found a way to make the game fun. We don't give a shit about those chests, those pigs and chickens, those fucking skeletons. No, we're out for blood. Everybody else is sailing
Only
around.
PvP.
Only PvP. Everybody else is sailing around trying to do these quests. They're like, oh yeah, now we can afford the Burgundy sale, and we're just like, we're coming to sink that ass. Like I'm just up on the. We're all up there with spy glasses, just looking for a boat. And as soon as we find one, we're just hard to port, Mr. Dawson. And you're click, 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 click.
Oh yeah, you're Mr. Dawson.
Yeah, we're fucking on their
Mr.
ass
Dawson.
like super fast, and we're fat. And the better you are of the sails, the faster you can be, and the better you are at operating things like the anchor to do like a quick turn and stuff. We're good at it, and we always catch these people. And the spawn system is fucked. There's no downside really to dying. So if you kill this, if there's one guy on his boat all alone, you kill that guy, he respawns on his boat in like 30 seconds. So we're just waiting on you. We're just waiting on you to come back, and we'll kill you again and again.
Bad mechanic.
It's a terrible mechanic if you're that guy. We love it. so
they
we
just have to keep going until they get tired and turn it off.
Or we'll sink their ship after a couple times, but we'll sink his ship. Then we're looking for his ship to respawn, and we'll just chase him down and do it again. And they get pissed, in game. This is bullshit. Stop! Leave us alone! And we're just chasing them down and sinking their ships. We sunk 8 ships the other night in like one game session, which is a lot.
Does anybody ever bully you?
Sometimes we like trade and we both sink. That definitely happens sometimes. Sometimes we fuck up. And like we all leave our ship to like we'll ram their ship, like completely T-bone them, which fucks both ships up, but more for them than us. And then all 4 of us jump on and like chop them to bits, and we're like all celebrating as we like take their bananas and their cannonballs, and then we turn around to our ship, and it's just like nose up, sinking to the briny deep. We're like, fuck.
You know where I was hoping that was going? They're on
taking
your
it.
ship and fly and sail away.
We played with a real Jack Sparrow the other night. He was crafty as fuck. We found him on an island, like fighting off like 8 skeletons all by himself, and we were like, hey, let's sink his ship while we're here. So we sink his ship, and we take off and leave. And like 10 minutes later, Chiz is like, or somebody was like, does the moon have a gamer tag? And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? He's like, look up. See, it says the moon. And I'm like, that was that bad guy's gamer tag. He's in the crow's nest hiding out. He's stowed away in our ship. He's up there waiting. So like Mitty climbs the ladder to get him, and the guy's waiting with a shotgun and blows Mitty away. And I hop up, I kill the guy, and like we find him again like 10 minutes later in his ship, and we're like hot on his ass, just following him, and we're
I like
faster.
this guy.
He gets better. Like we're following him like into like a storm or something. Like he's like Captain Kirk going into the nebula trying to escape us. And I'm out like on the nose of the boat, like looking through the spyglass. I'm like, yeah, a little more to the left, a little more to the right, or whatever. And then I look, he has set his ship to sail straight and jumped in the goddamn water, and he's swimming toward us to stow away again. And he does. He hops into our boat, climbs the ladder, and kills one of us before we can take him out. He just a real badass.
You couldn't shoot him from the water?
You can, but it's hard. Like it's rocking and rolling in the boat, and the guns are pirate guns. You've got.
You just got a bunch of broken glass and nails and a blunderbuss.
Yeah, there is a blunderbuss. Yeah.
Yeah,
that sounds cool.
That does sound pretty fun. What's your guys'
it only sounds
victory
fun 'cause
race?
The people are fun, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
it
it seems
you have to
more like
make your own
an
fun.
RPG.
DayZ had an element of sort of make your own fun too. Like the game itself, trying to survive against zombies, but it was about who to trust, who not to trust, how long alliances are, and like there's definitely a benefit to both of you helping each other. You're 4 times as good with 2 people as you are by yourself. Not just twice as good, but 4 times as good. Making that up.
Yeah.
But it's also to your advantage to be the first asshole. You don't want to be that asshole's victim. It's tricky. That was what DayZ was about.
We win almost every fight, I would say. Like at this point, like because we're very coordinated. We're a full party of 4, and after a while, you master the cannon's trajectory and you learn where to aim. Because at first we were just hit the ship, right? But you got to hit the ship at the water line so that it leaks water, so that you put actual holes in it and sink them. And I don't know, it's really fun. We basically grief other players, and that's the whole game for us, because there's not enough content for the game itself to be fun. But like the first 10 hours are a ton of fun because
Is Mitty unusually good at video games? I have a feeling he's an ace in the hole. He's just good. He's just regular.
He's good. You know, I've got, I don't know. I did this thing where I ranked up my Steam accounts, and now I've got like 250 friends. Okay. And I would say he's in like he's the top tier of my friends list. I've got friends that are better. I think he and I are on a pretty even playing field on PUBG. And he's just fine at the pirate game. He's good at games.
He posts some of his better games on the subreddit, so it's easy to get the impression, like a COD montage, that he's just out there winning games and getting 12 kills in PUBG on the norm.
I had my best game ever the other day. We were playing PUBG, and the game before, Chiz had like bet another one of our friends. He's like, you want to bet $5 that Kyle clutches this? Because there's like 25 people left, and it's just me, and it's teams of 4 out there. And I'm like, you better not take that bet. And Rohed's like, yeah, I bet Kyle clutches it. And like 30 seconds later, I die. And he's like, shit. So he owes Chiz $5. So like the next game, same thing happens. And it's just me left and like 26 players. And Chiz is like, you want to make that bet again? And he's like, no, absolutely not. I'm like, make the bet, man. I got it this time. He's like, no, wait. Chiz is like, I'll give you odds.
Yeah.
No way. And I ended up
take the odds.
No. I ended up clutching it. It was literally my best game I've ever played. Which I think is just kind of average.
Could have made $10.
But I was that game has this effect on me. Like at the end, when I'm in the house, completely surrounded, I'm in the center of the circle, and there's like 12 people surrounding the house, and they all want in, but they're also fighting each other. There was so much adrenaline going through my body that my arms went numb. Like from the elbow down, my arms were completely numb and tingly, and I'm just like, my arms are numb. And I got like the last 6 kills of the game or something like that. I think I got like 12 total, but it was incredible. It was so much. That's the most fun I've had playing a video game in any kind of memory. I love that game.
It's fun when you're the super you.
Yeah, it was great. And they were the shittiest versions of them too. They had to be.
I did that in Left 4 Dead once, and I've told the story before, but it's maybe my best gaming moment ever, where I played with this girl and this guy a lot. Left 4 Dead has girls in it. And anyway, in the pre-lobby, I was just there's me, this girl, and 2 randoms, and the other team was cursing us out like bad. And they heard her voice, and they're like, you sound like a cunt. We're going to fuck you up. You don't have a shot. I play this game every day. And I'm like, we'll see. I play every day too. And then throughout the game, if you haven't played Left 4 Dead much, there's a possibility that you can be a real hero in this thing, picking up the other people, hordes of dead people coming, zombies. And I was just like taking out the specials, doing everything. And we won the game. We actually made them rage quit before the last, like on the very last screen. You can tell like we don't have any chance of winning, and so they didn't have to like hear it from us in the lobby. But it was outstanding because not only was I what Kyle was in his game, but the opponents were just the biggest
assholes
you can find on Xbox. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, one more component of Sea of Thieves that's really fun. If 3 of you vote, you can put 1 person in the brig. And the brig is literally a cage down in the bottom of the boat. Uh-huh. So we sometimes we'll vote, like if it's just 3 of us playing and there's a random who's not pulling his weight, we'll put him in the brig, and then we'll ram the boat into a rock so that water starts filling up and he's in this cage. And then we'll play the ISIS music. And then we all stand around him and like play our musical instruments as the water drowns him slowly. It's a lot of fun.
Dude.
Like we make our own fun.
You guys also die because your ship.
We just swim out. We just swim out. We go find a mermaid. We tag the mermaid. We get warped to a new ship. It's all good.
Is it possible to like make alliances, or is it all just kind of verbal alliances? So like if you wanted to have like an Uber galleon or something, could you be like, all right, we're gonna have 8 people join, and then immediately you guys just jump off your galleon, come get on ours, and then we'll have twice as many people working the equipment?
It would be hard to set it up. Like you'd have to find people randomly in the world and be like, ahoy there, matey. Would you like to join our party? And they would have to say yes rather than just steal your bananas and run for it or
And
something.
they'd have to
like
actually mean yes instead of, oh, of course. And then before you know it, you're in the brig with ISIS music.
Yeah, they can't literally like join your crew or anything, but you could tag team. They could just join your little. That would be really fun, actually. Like if there were two of you again, and you could really own the server. I don't know how many boats are actually out there in the world, but
if you play for an hour, how many boats do you run into?
See, it depends. Like I've heard like maybe Boogie or the Angry Gamer guy or Angry Game Guy review, whatever that guy's name is. They were like, I sailed for 4 hours and I saw no one, fucking no one. But when we but I don't know, maybe I'm good at spotting people. Maybe we're just getting lucky. But like we see people every 10 minutes, I would say. And in between, there's just islands everywhere to stop off on and fight skeletons, which is kind of fun. There's
so
sharks.
Do you ever
in the water.
go to like where the treasure is and then camp out and like kind of try and be sly and then wait and then someone will show up to get it? Or is it more like when the treasure man goes, all right, go get this chest, that it's only visible to your party because you pulled the ticket or whatever?
See, what you just described is one of the things that we want for the game. We want everyone to have the same mission, or at least the same like 5 missions. So there's a high chance that like you and some other vessel get sent off to the same island for the same chest, but that's not the case. You go get this mission, and it's your personal quest to go get this thing. And you have a treasure map with like, they have riddles on them usually. It's like on the east side of the island, old Curly's beard you'll see. Dig 5 meters, and then you'll be. And it's always something like that. And we always like make way too much of it. We overthink it and get really frustrated. But nah,
so you
generally
can't just like stake out the chest and wait for them to come.
Nah, because there's chests fucking everywhere. You just have to have the map for that particular chest. Generally speaking, we just drive around looking for people, and we find them within 10 minutes, sink them, and then usually within oftentimes 5 minutes later, they'll respawn sort of close, and we'll just go get them again and again and again, and just grief them until they quit the server.
Have you guys built up a reputation at all of it's the Pale Patch Boys? Don't be thrown by their, rudimentary sales. They're monsters.
I don't think we're that hardcore yet. You do earn like there's like levels, and as you go through the levels, you get like under your gamer tag, you get like a title. And Chiz is the only one, I think, or no, maybe Mitty is the only one with an actual title. He's like a golden boy or something like that, something stupid that like nobody cares about. It, like I said, you really have to make your own fun in the game because the game's mechanics suck.
His name is, he earned a title called Golden Boy.
Golden.
The Sunny
Why wouldn't
fan
they at least have
like likes that? It should be Golden
shit that
God.
makes sense?
It's something like that.
I don't First
know.
Mate or Lieutenant. Blackbeard, like just something pirate related.
I don't know.
Golden Boy. That's the shirt that Jerry likes.
Yeah, that's the Golden Boy. That's his polo. Yeah. There's musical instruments in the game. So you have two. I don't know what they're called. One of them I think is like a stringed instrument, but they're pirate music instruments. I've never seen them before, and one of them has a crank. But we'll all be playing music as we sail around, and like as their enemy ships are sinking, we play them a little song, and usually they're out there swimming and the sharks are eating them up and stuff. It's all about griefing the other players for me. I don't give a shit about the reputation or the skeletons or the pigs and chickens or the gold or any of that.
The hurdy-gurdy, that's what it's called.
Okay.
The
crank
thing that you crank. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you know that?
Because I looked it up.
Oh, I was like,
yeah.
St. Louis wasn't in my head known for its pirate activity.
Well, our hockey team was torn between the St. Louis Blues and the St. Louis Hurdy-Gurdies. And so they took the more popular kind of music.
Yeah, what you should do, Taylor, is you sign up, and I'm probably getting the name wrong, but you sign up for some kind of an Xbox like season pass or something that's like $15, and then you get the game for free. And then I think after like 2 weeks,
gold membership kind of thing.
Something like that. It's like some sort of game pass that you get so that like you get certain games free or something like that. So you can. I paid $60 on the fucking Microsoft store, and I told someone the other day, like, if this were a Steam game, I'd have gotten my refund by now. This is horse shit. But like I said, for the first 10 or 20 hours, it's a ton of fun just to play with your friends and sink boats. If you get it, we'll play. But you can get it for free basically. If you sign up if you Google how to get it for free, I'm sure you'll find it.
On Xbox, you get it for free, or on PC, you get it for free.
Well, we're all playing together, right? So, and Microsoft. I use the Microsoft Store on my PC, and I use the Xbox application on my PC for communication, and I can use it for communication and for like party invites and such. So you'd have to like add my gamer tag and all that stuff. It's just like playing on an Xbox, except I'm using a PC.
Yeah, that might be fun.
And the game's
sounds
beautiful.
fun.
The
Knowing
game has
that it doesn't matter, and people aren't hyper competitive, and that it's more about doing pirate voices and fucking around. That's more the kind of speed of a game I'd rather be into right now.
That's absolutely
than when I jump
all it's
into
about.
PUBG or whatever. It's like I have neither the time nor the inclination to get good at this game. Like I just don't want to, and so I'll just get butt fucked every time I jump on if I play that one.
Oh yes, you will. But yeah,
Jizz doesn't play that at all anymore, does he?
Yeah,
he kind of dropped off. Oh,
yeah.
I thought he dropped off for a while, and you clearly became the best.
I think he pointed out the stats the other day that maybe I think his KD is higher than mine, but like there's some kind of player. I don't know how the rankings work. My player ranking was like some like 0.07 percentile or something. I can tell I'm currently getting better. Like if I was like a level 3 player, I'm becoming a level 4 player or something like that, because there was a time when like the most kills I'd get in a game was like 8, and now I'm getting like 10 or 12. So I'm definitely getting better, and I'm winning more and more of my gunfights, which I'm happy to see. Like I thought I'd plateaued. It was like when you're working out and you've plateaued for like months, and then you get an extra 10 pounds or something. So I've recently gotten better. I think right now I'm better than Chiz. He might argue that.
Well, congrats, because I know Chiz is very good at it.
I commemorated a trophy over there as soon as I got that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would argue this. It not PUBG, but take some other game, right? Some new Super Mario Brothers comes out. Chiz would probably be the best person associated with the podcast in the first couple days.
I wonder though, because I had this sneaky suspicion that back when we used to do PK plays, like Chiz would pick the games and he would sort of like organize things, and like he would be like the guy who was like, all right, yeah, Saturday 1 p.m. We're playing with this fan and we're gonna make this video, and everybody be there. But he'd tell you this on like Thursday or Friday, and like, the game is Chivalry. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll download it day of. Meanwhile, you get in there and it's like he's got like 30 hours played or something like that. Like he's been practicing his sword swipes and his parries like for a week or something like that, and he would just slaughter us like speedrunners.
So you're not a believer this is fully organic?
I don't know. It was
more of a plotted maneuver.
I think there's a good chance that he would spend a lot of time brushing up on these games, or at least enough time so that he had a good solid advantage. Like I'm still learning the controls, and he's just.
I've known Chiz for 6 or 7 years, and I've probably worked with him more than you guys because of WoodyCraft. Mm-hmm. He would do that. He would do that. I don't know that he did, but that is not out of line for a thing that Chiz would do.
He would. He's got to be prepared and have that muscle memory, because when you're in day 7 of a 9-day fast, and you haven't had calories or nutrients in your body for a week, you need to have muscle memory because you're too famished.
Yeah.
You're starved.
Higher brain function is shut down at that point. You're working on muscle memory alone. Yeah, I have a sneaky suspicion that's what was going on, because we play games that had completely different mechanics than one another. Like it would be that Chivalry game is like swords and shields and all kinds of medieval weapons, like
but in
spears
some of them he
and
admitted
stuff.
He played before. Like it was our first time playing Worms, and he had been playing it with Lefty, or I know one of the platformers.
Yeah, but like Worms was one where like I'm not sure how much better you get over it. I feel like after like 10 hours you've mastered Worms, right?
When you get to the level where you don't routinely kill yourself, you have a huge advantage over the other players.
Yeah, that's another one that you would probably like, Taylor. Worms is really fun.
You haven't played Worms, Taylor?
Isn't that the same as Tanks, that other game? Where you like shoot certain rockets and try and like hit the other person's avatar?
Yeah, and knock it. You've got like a bunch. Each person has like 5 avatars on this weird map, and they're worms. So the maps are like a big pile of garbage, and you inch your worm along, grab various weapons and power-ups, and try to knock the other worms into the water, or into the lava or whatever's down below, until you're the only one with a worm left.
But it's very
turn-based,
difficult.
And it's PC, right?
Yes,
it's very difficult to use the worms as well as they can be. There's a timer. You have to make some decisions. and like there's a grappling hook. Oh my gosh, you know, if you can use that grappling hook like Tarzan to actually go from one place to another, you've done something that most people can't. You know?
Yeah, when someone would pull off one of those moves, everyone would cheer because it's like you shoot your grappling hook and you like swing, and then you can, if you're high level, drop it and shoot another one and swing up and get to an access areas that like a single grappling hook just wouldn't get you to. But if you're bad, one of two things happens: either you just fall into the water and suicide your worm, or you end up in the most awkward like hanging from your like grappling hook in no man's land thing ever. You're just like, oh no.
And there's a little bit of
drop and waste a worm.
There's a little bit of Peggle mixed in. Have you guys ever played Peggle?
Oh hell yeah!
All right. Well,
Peggle.
you know, with Peggle, it's like, all right, I'm gonna like hit this thing and rebound at that one, and then it hits like 17 things. There's fireworks going off, and it was really 80% luck based. In Worms, sometimes it's like, well, I'm gonna just send this exploding stampeding buffalo towards a wall, and sometimes I just blow up and blow up and blow up against your guy and decimate him. Other times, well, I didn't know he was going to turn around and come at me. Like I didn't see that coming at all, and you know, you just end up decimating yourself, and it's a good time for everybody.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Very casual game.
And I will say I might have been the worst at the game, but I swear I had about an equal number of wins. Like,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, like whoever won got like 3 wins more than everybody else if we played 10 or 12 games or something. Yeah, there wasn't any like domination of it, but no matter what game we played, Chiz was always the best, whether it was Speedrunners or Chivalry or Worms or
Mount Your Friends.
Mount Your Friends. Mount Your Friends is a cool game. There's a new one of those.
I forgot about Peggle. That makes me want to play. Did you ever play Peggle?
No, I'm looking at a video of it, and it looks just really
Extreme
stupid.
Fever. Yeah.
You know, maybe
and
you
all
need
the little
like
characters,
a headset or
special...
something. When things start going your way in Peggle, and you know, it's just it really, really praises you for your dumb luck.
See, I wanted to think of a way to say that, and you said it right. It praises you to where you'll like first of all, the sound that it makes when you hit the thing, where it's like pew, 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 like, and you hit the right color, bang, ba-da-dang, dang, 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 like it ratchets up
right.
like the
and if you get a lucky one, it's like.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, I've never even heard noises this high before. Yes. You know, it's just like in Street Fighter, suddenly you have a 17-move combo. You know, it's not the greatest at this game, but it's 80%
except in this, it's just you shoot it and something happens, and then you get to take credit with your friends. Because I used to play with my friends, like we'd all sit around, like we were drunk after a night or something, and someone gets a totally random shot. And he's like, "Oh, you extreme fever!" Everybody's freaked because it puts on there when you win. Like if you win correctly, extreme fever, and it freaks out at you. It's a game that could keep an ADD 9-year-old totally occupied.
Oh, that's the other thing about Sea of Thieves. We like to play very drunk. It's a lot more fun if you're trashed. All right.
I bet that helps the pirate accents.
Oh, it does, matey. You get a bit of that grog in you. Oh, and that's another mechanic in the game. There's grog. There's a barrel of grog down below. You just fill your cup up. You drink two big mugs of that grog, and it's got the best drunk mechanic of any game I've ever played. You're like doing that staggering around thing uncontrollably, and then you start vomiting green vomit. And so what we like to do is lock somebody in the brig, and then we all get drunk and vomit on them. And then, all over their face. And then they can't see anything. It's all green. And then we
covers their screen.
Yeah. Then we scoop the vomit up with our buckets and repeatedly throw it in their face.
So they were like, in the designer room. So should we have more than 3 fetch quests? No, we need to get the drunk mechanic done. This is what people are going to do. They're going to do pirate voices and get wasted with friends and ride around griefing.
That's exactly what we do. But everybody's
you ever go into battle drunk where you're like, all right, boys, give them hell.
Exclusively.
But your character doesn't work as well, right?
Oh, no, I meant I'm drunk.
I meant I figured you guys were all drunk.
Oh, that's a problem, actually. Yeah, if your character's drunk and all of a sudden, like, someone starts shooting, we're like, oh, shit, sober up, boys, sober up, eat a banana. Like, you're trying to, like, God, they're coming right for us. Is that how
you sober up? You eat a banana?
Bananas are the health item. Like everybody's you always see them. You don't peel the banana. You just
it
eat
wards
it stem
off
Just
first.
eat the
scurvy.
whole thing.
Please tell me
Stem
there's a
first.
scurvy mechanic.
We
No
be needing
scurvy.
all the vitamins. Yeah. Not
It's,
much fiber on the high seas.
No, not much citrus. No vitamin C to be had. But yeah, man, it's a ton of fun. But it's you have to make your own fun. Like it's certainly if I was playing solo and didn't have any friends, it'd be the worst game ever. I don't know. I would be so pissed off, so upset because they made it seem like you were like Fallout. Like it was gonna be like Fallout, but you're a pirate, right? Like I in my mind, I was gonna eventually earn like a ship with a big cock on the front, and I was literally gonna ram a ship cock in the back of another boat. Like I was gonna be getting better and better blunderbusses. Like, oh, he's got the level 3 sniper rifle. It shoots 2 musket balls or something. But no, everything is given to you right from the start. You don't earn anything other than cosmetic items. Like you earn a beard for your pirate or a mustache or like an eye patch. There's not even a parrot. They need a parrot. I want parrot DLC ASAP.
Do they let you name your own ship?
Well, you don't write it anywhere, but we've named ours.
What's it named?
The Amistad.
The Amistad.
What's the Amistad? Is there something I don't? The reference I'm not getting?
It's a
slave ship.
It's a slave ship from a movie. From
Oh.
a movie.
Yeah.
It's not really named that. That's fucked up. That was
Your name is Toby.
That's Roots.
same general thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hilarious. The Amistad. That must be why they can't, let it be emblazoned on the side. Just
That's a good point.
Yeah, right. They don't... If you could name ships, none of them would be named like YouTube money.
There's a dirty Jew off the starboard side.
I remember Black Ops came with their emblem editor.
Yeah.
Dude, just
Oh my god. It was fucking
penises and
ridiculous.
unicorns fucking things.
Jizz everywhere.
Yeah, jizz.
It'd just be like someone getting a facial or like sometimes like a swastika done with such care and meticulousness that you're like, how in the world did they turn this amalgamation of shapes into a perfect swastika?
How
And then
did
you hear
take
him
a
and he's like,
bunch-
yeah, quit being a bag. It's like, what? You should be in school. Like,
How did you use a unicorn, a circle, and a straight line to make a woman taking it up the ass?
Yeah.
But well done.
and then so many, I remember some were just like, it's just like a profile of like a man bending over shitting with his asshole like faced towards you, giving you like the goats, whatever that meme is called, where he's like grabbing and like pulling his asshole apart.
Mine was
Shit's
a
right.
pretty good towelly from South
I
Park.
remember it.
I
Yeah.
actually remember that too. It was pretty good.
Yeah, that was. There were tutorials online about how to do that stuff, but like I
Mhm.
never like that's not. I hate those parts. There's tedious things in video games. I never. I don't think I even had one.
I literally thought that, like, as a YouTuber, I was obligated to have something, and I think I did get tally from a tutorial. And,
Yeah.
And
No shame in that.
I was like, I don't know. I felt like I shouldn't be blank. Like I should have something. Like when if someone kills me and gets my gun, that should be a prize for them. It
Yeah.
should be like, oh, this is Woody's gun.
Yeah,
But,
I forgot that it was on the gun too. I'm the same way as Kyle though with my customization. Like, I don't give a fuck what my Skyrim character looks like. Like if it's a first-person game, like who could possibly care? Like nobody's gonna. It's like you can spend 25 minutes. Like, oh, do you want him to have a big nose? Do I want to be a big-nosed orc? No, let's not commit to anything too crazy. I'll go with a standard orc nose. Like, and then 2 seconds in, you get a helmet, and that's the last you will ever see of that of your crazy hair color. Like,
I agree completely. And I see online people who spend like the first day or two customizing their character, but I can't relate. That's not how I play.
yeah, it's not near like this guy who made you in Fallout. That probably took a
Was
while.
it me?
It takes a
maybe
long time.
Oh.
That is not easy. He did a good job there.
Really?
The Fallout face modifier is so intricate. You've got like this little. It's like Photoshop. You got this little bubble that you can like polish stuff out with and like change every little minute feature. There's surprisingly, I don't know, 30 zones on the face that you alter in various ways. Like he did a fairly good job there, I thought. Yeah, it's hard. Fallout at least has, it's first person and
It's
third
not
person.
bad. I would say that the jaw's a little squarish, you think?
I'm looking at
Oh,
it and then you.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I'm
I think the
trying.
jaw's pretty good. Maybe a
I think
little
it is
more
too.
square.
I think it needs a little
chin
more
comes
chin,
out
right?
more.
I'm
Yeah.
a little more pointy. I look at
Eyes are
it and
pretty
I'm
good.
like, that's not me. And then I look at it more and more, and it's like, well, which part of it isn't you, Woody? I don't know. Like,
That's not my bathroom. Yeah.
I'm like, that's a big forehead. Oh, well, actually. and,
And the hairline is perfect.
here's where he got something wrong. And I put myself on the big screen so people can see. My
Nicholas
eyebrows are like blonde halfway through. They only go to here. I have one eyebrow split over both eyes. Do you see it now that I say it?
I do.
That they're very thin.
Yeah. I just feel like they're kind of normal in the center, but over here on the edges.
Oh man, if I could throw you some eyebrow hair magically, I have so much to spare. You know when
And-
you get compliments from chicks about stuff that they do that you never do, like where they'll be like, "Oh my god, your lashes are so long," or "Oh, I wish I didn't have to color in my eyebrows. You have such thick eyebrows." That's the one I get. Like, "Oh, I wish I had as many eyebrows as you." Then I could just cut it down instead of coloring it in, which seems like a lot of effort.
I get
Being a man, someone.
eyelashes sometimes. Ooh. What is wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. Clicked the wrong thing. Eyelashes. I'm like, yeah, I hate my eyelashes. They like brush against my glasses or something if I have to wear them. And they're like, oh my God, Dad, first world problems. Like, yeah, actually, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I've always been indifferent about my eyebrows. They seem fine. They
Dude.
keep sand out of my eyes.
I know this isn't Kyle's favorite topic. St. Louis Blues, literally the hottest team in the NHL right now.
If there's one thing to say about the Blues, consistency. We we lose 7 in a row, and then we win 7 in a row, and I don't know. They're getting hot at the right time, which is good. So I don't know. I hope they make the playoffs. I hope I'm going to watch the Philly versus Colorado game this time of year. This is the time of year where I always end up watching more games than ever, at the playoff crunch, because I have like a vested interest. Where like usually Colorado versus Philly, I don't really fucking care either way. Like I'll watch occasionally because I like the Abs from the 90s, but they're in our division, so I don't like them that much. But now I have like an interest of like, come on, fucking Drew, you fuck, like play better. Like, and knowing the Blues' luck, at the very least, Colorado will lose in overtime and get a point, because that's just the way.
Yeah, the Flyers are on a 2-game losing streak, and they're a streaky team. I don't know. They just
I think they're gonna make it.
I think they're gonna
Carolina's
make it
about to be booted.
Carolina's not gonna make it.
Yeah, Carolina's not gonna make it. I don't think New Jersey's gonna make it, but I always remember you don't like New Jersey, so it doesn't matter.
Right. Jerseys. Oh, I see. Oh, Jersey or the Panthers. They're neck and neck.
I hope the Panthers make it, because if they make it, they're gonna end up playing Tampa in the first round, and that would be good for Florida hockey. I went to see a Lightning game against the Coyotes, and Arizona Coyotes are not good. They are one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst team in the league. Them and Buffalo are duking it out for bottom of the basement. And I've seen them twice this year, once when they were in St. Louis, and then once just happenstance against Tampa. And I need, whoever owns the Coyotes, send me plane tickets to every one of their games, because they play well in front of me. They're looking to impress me. They blew us the fuck out in St. Louis, like 5-1. And then they blew out the Lightning like 4 or 5-1 when I was
to
there.
impress you,
like,
that's your theory.
yeah, I think they know I'm there, and they're like, "All right, boys, go out there for that one guy from St. Louis. He keeps coming, to these games." But yeah, it was. Oh, I meant to mention this too. This is actually, it's not strictly hockey related, so Kyle might enjoy it. I imagine the same thing would be true if St. Louis suddenly got a basketball team, because this isn't a basketball city, to where like there'd be fouls against a basketball player and that were totally reasonable, and our fans being new would be like, "Oh, come on," or something like that. At the Tampa game, I have never seen fans get so upset at like run-of-the-mill calls. Like there was like a standard slashing on someone against Tampa, and they started like a "Refs, you suck" chant, and it was like, it was a slashing. They just replayed it. That was as textbook as it could be. Like, and then you know how I'm sure in Philly, because it's a hockey market, there's a breakaway, and you'll hear the fans, oh yeah, oh, or something like that when they miss, or if they score, they get really loud. Obviously, the Tampa fans were doing that on like 2-on-2s. Where it's just two guys entering the zone and they have two defensemen and they're, oh, yeah. And it's like, this is such a run-of-the-mill play, but I respect how excited you are.
You have to come to Carolina because the same thing happens. Now, there are educated fans because there's a lot of people who moved here from the north, but there's also tons of people who don't know hockey at all. So, like, I don't know. The whole defense of the other team is set up inside the blue zone. The guy, he's skating around. He finally makes it past center ice, and the fans are like, shoot it, shoot it. And you're like, there's no shot, he's in center ice. You think he's gonna, like, there's no shot. If that made it, it would make Sports Center for the next 10 years, and the fans are screaming like, go.
I saw one where like they were like, Tampa was like on the fucking penalty kill. And so one of their guys gets it and just like flips it down the ice. And I hear someone like a ways away like, oh, they're not even trying to score. And it's like, you're on the penalty kill. Like, do you see how there's fewer of your guys than their guys out there? Like,
he burnt 15 seconds with that. That was his goal.
You could put the pieces together a little bit, but that was funny.
Uneducated fans are great. I should attend more games.
Oh yeah, especially in Carolina. I bet it's cheap as can be.
Right now, they did a thing here with this promotion. So a new owner just bought Carolina, and he has some ideas. So he was like, "Hey, everyone who has a ticket, you sit up by the glass. If you bother to come to our game at all, even if you have like a $9 ticket from way up top, then you can sit down here at the bottom." And it made it looked a little more packed, and it gave a little more like community. And I should have taken advantage of that. I don't know. I can't explain.
Oh yeah, you definitely should. Oh, another thing. Apparently, the memo hasn't been put out in the Tampa market that you don't walk back to your seat in the middle of play. Like, if you try and do that in St. Louis, like where you're like walking with your beer or your pretzel or whatever, and you try and get into the play, some sassy lady's going to be like, you need to wait till the whistle blows or something, like stop you, physically stop you, because it's polite to wait. Here, people just waltzing in the middle of a power play. A man who was probably 500 pounds sat in front of me, and my dad was courteous enough to switch with me because I wasn't able to see the net, because the guy was like leaning forward because he couldn't scoot back all the way into his seat because the two armrest things were like, they would have like gone right through his fucking giant love handles. Mm-hmm. So that was obnoxious. But other than that, no ill will towards Tampa fans at all. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and glad they're growing the sport down there. Until they suck again. I was thinking that would be the best market to play in the NHL. Tampa.
Why?
When your team is good, people are going to give a shit. Like, it was pretty packed. When your team is bad, nobody's hazing you about it. Like, they don't care that much. Whereas, like, if you suck in Montreal, like, that's all that you're going to hear day in and day out is like how much you suck. Or if you suck in Toronto or Boston or something like that, like, they're going to care. But Tampa, you don't even have income tax, so you get the
that's nice. Well, I don't know. Actually, you earn income in the place you play, so it probably matters. I guess half their games are going to be at home, though. I'm not thinking this.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, they get paid.
But
so 41 games a year.
They must have ridiculous tax returns.
Yeah,
they're on TurboTax. Like, we have to buy 22 states. Yeah, do you believe it?
This guy who plays for Columbus now, whose name is Artemi Panarin from Russia, of course. He was like, so when you go get your coffee, do they have trouble spelling Artemi on your cup? He's like, I never say Artemi. They get it wrong 100%. I say John. Every time I go in, they say, what name? I say John. And then that made me laugh because, if I lived in Russia, I would be Sergey or something that they do. Not Rutherford.
Kyle,
anyway, Kyle, any sports related stuff on your end? Any
Khabib
baseball?
Review movies?
No.
Oh, I'm hard. You know me in names. Khabib Nurmagomedov, something close to that. Nurmagomedov. Seems like I'm missing a syllable, but anyway, go ahead. Help me.
I was gonna say, do you want help?
Yeah. What is his name?
Khabib Nurmagomedov.
He is a Russian dude, and he kind of like plays no shit. Like that's It's how he seems in every video. And they asked him to review like Love Actually and When Harry Met Sally and stuff like that. And he's like, Never Been Kissed. He's like, I don't know why she seems good to me. And he's like, but this is
good girl. We no need to stone her.
In Slovakia, she be in for many rape.
Yeah, and he's like, never been kissed. I would. And then like the next person comes along. He's like, Harry Met Sally. This is love movie. Too much love make heart soft. We don't watch movie.
He did not say too much love makes heart soft, did he?
Oh, I'm pretty close. Like, yeah, that's about what he said.
That's so hardcore.
Yeah, and I'm buying all of it. As people who watch the show know, I left the Connor train, right? As soon as Connor retired and pretended like he didn't, I finished with him.
He's coming back. He's gonna beat the winner of this fight. Mark my words. Tony Ferguson's gonna win this fight. Conor McGregor's gonna come back and whip his ass. Then he'll fight Nate Diaz again, win that fight too. Then he'll drop down to 145, beat up Max Holloway, and sail into the sunset on a gigantic $50 million yacht.
Okay. Other thoughts. Conor never drops to 145 again.
Of course not.
Max comes up for like a non-title fight. After Conor's stripped, he can fight anyone and do anything. That's the thing that could happen. Conor loses, of course.
Oh, no way! At
To
155?
That's a good point. At 145, I think Conor loses. At 155, it helps. Or Conor gets stripped, as we all know, and Mayweather fights in MMA as another like weird promotional thing with lots of money involved. There's a $100 pay-per-view.
He's beaten to death.
And yeah, Conor. Now here's one I've got Conor winning quite easily.
Oh yeah.
And Conor wins by anything he chooses to, and that could go down. I think Conor should not have the belt anymore. All
Connor's
he does is hold up
that
divisions.
man. He would beat him so badly in MMA. He would beat him until he knew how to read. It would be tremendous.
He would beat the literacy into him.
Yeah, he'd be singing the alphabet while he pounded the back of that guy's skull into the mat. It would not go well.
Sense.
Yeah. Well, they are taking the belt. For this. They're gonna for this.
If the fight happens.
Why would Mayweather agree to that?
Oh, 7 more days.
Why would
There's
Mayweather
no way
agree to
Mayweather
it?
would agree to it.
There's a theory out there that Mayweather and Mayweather's good friend 50 Cent and more, they all exaggerate their wealth as a way to promote themselves. So like Chael Sonnen is like, there's few things in this world more exaggerated than Mayweather's wealth. Mayweather might take it because he wants more money.
Okay.
It would be a terrible idea. Conor hung in there in that boxing match. I didn't feel it was an embarrassment, especially against Mayweather. The same would not be true with the inverse. If Mayweather stepped into that octagon, it would be brutal. It wouldn't look the same as fights normally look. There wouldn't be a lot of. It would be brutal and to the point. It would look like a bullying. It would look like an attack. It would not go well.
Yeah.
What if he
even if he gets paid a lot?
Is Mayweather too dangerous that Conor can't fuck with him, right? Because don't forget, he does have like the best hands at that weight that the planet has ever seen in the history of mankind thus far.
Because his hands are this fucking big, each one of them. He's been learning with the gloves. He's been learning to parry with those gloves his whole life. He's been learning to hide behind those gloves his whole life. Do this in real life, and I'm coming under here. Do this in real life, and I'm coming over here. It's not going to work. It doesn't provide the same amount of protection. Like you're if anything, you get your fist knocked into your face. Even if he hits your fist.
For people who don't know MMA like at all, the gloves in MMA are much smaller, like a third of the size. They're pretty much just like knuckle covers. And Kyle makes a really good point that he's made an art out of this for the last 30 years or whatever it is, 20 years. Using big gloves. Now, MMA fighters practice with boxing gloves all the time. So Conor wasn't as much a fish out of water because he uses boxing gloves constantly. But Mayweather will have very little experience with MMA gloves.
Yeah, it'll be a destruction of Mayweather. He'll come out of there looking bad. And if I were Connor, I would make him look bad in both ways. I would embarrass him and I would hurt him terribly. I'd want to hurt him. I'd want his face to be. I'd want him to be beaten and bloody and bruised and like all right, he's going to the hospital now. He's not going to be available for the post-fight interview.
Is that how you do it? So you would ground and pound him, I guess.
I don't know. That's not my.
I don't know that Connor beats him standing. Like if there's one area that Connor could possibly lose an MMA match, it would have to be they decide to box in the cage, right?
I don't know. He's throwing those kicks. He throws that kick where he sticks his toe in your goddamn ribs. Like how many of those is Mayweather going to absorb? He's never been kicked before. He's never been kicked in his life, especially not in the legs. I don't know. He's just got so many tools in the toolbox that Mayweather doesn't even know shit about. Like Conor does those spinning kicks. I just watched the Notorious movie and like he does that spinning round kick where he kicks you in the liver. Yeah, I watched him right at the beginning of the Mendez fight. He fucking nails him in the body. Yeah, hard. Yeah, okay. Like you could see Mendez. I don't know. I think he'd be fucked up.
Yeah, because Conor Mendez throws a lot of kicks in the opening seconds of a fight, and they all miss. Like
he often comes out with
crazy
stuff.
Like question mark kick with a ouple on it.
Umlaut.
Umlaut. That's what I'm going for. Yeah, that's a question mark kick with kind of an umlaut on the other foot, and it's like, yeah, but that's not a thing that's ever landed outside of like kung fu movies.
I would love to see that fight. I'd rather see that fight than any other fight, just because I hate Mayweather, right? And I'd pay for that. I'd pay $100 for that. I'd pay $100 to watch Mayweather fight Conor in the cage. Absolutely. But
or like 30 seconds of content before he catches a kick to the jaw.
So Taylor brings up a good point. It's going to be a short fight. Conor McGregor is thought of as the pay-per-view champion, and he in MMA he is. He's undeniably the best guy. But a lot of it is that every fight on a Conor card will be amazing. When, I don't know, like Nunez has to carry a card, everyone below her sucks. When
but the casual fans jump in on the Conor card and they don't give a fuck that like the number 3 fight is like it is like this number 2 fighting number 1 and the winner from this is going to fight the champ at 170 or whatever. They don't care, like they're there for Conor. Like those numbers get bumped up because all because of his name recognition and his bravado and all that shit.
I agree completely, but I feel like there's also a lot of people like me who buy like 1 in every 4 cards. Yeah. And when there's a Conor card, you have to buy it. Even if Conor wasn't on it, the rest of that card would get my money.
I'm buying the next card for sure. I haven't bought a card since Rose fought Joanna last time. And that's been 6 months or 7 months, maybe. Something like that. It's been a long fucking time, but I'm definitely buying this card April 7th. I'm very hyped about this. Really good card.
It if the Ferguson Khabib fight doesn't happen.
Of course not. Yeah, I won't. Yeah. I won't buy just for Rose versus Joanna, but I will buy for the Khabib fight because I think Max has this. I think Max can beat him. I think he can. I think he'd beat him.
Tony, I think you mean.
Yes. Did I say Max?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Tony has this. I don't know why.
Did we bet 5?
No. Should we bet 5 on whether Wings would get the surgery or not, and I may have made a massive 458-pound mistake.
You are going to be.
It's really only a $5 mistake.
Yeah, you're going to be on half a 10 spot, I think.
I think so too.
Oh, and if this somehow gets back to Wings, you have to know. I think. Was it this year, though? That's what it was. Was it this calendar year?
Yeah, this calendar year. Yeah, he has to get the surgery by December 31st, or I'm out $5. Or I'm out $5 because I bet that he would get the surgery. And after his doctor trip the other day, shocker, is in poor health, and it seems like that may postpone this thing. He said to the summer, but it sounded more indefinite to me. Like there's no real end date on this thing.
Wings doesn't have an adventurous spirit. And I don't mean to knock him. There are people like that. I had a friend in high school who was like that. He's just way more comfortable after. If you went 5 towns over, when he got back home, he's like, doesn't it feel better here? And Wings is like that too. Wings hasn't left Conway very much. And if you look at like what he's done with his 32 years, a lot of them are really localized. Like that was kind of why I bet against him doing this. Like just the idea of him, like he may have got the passport. You don't know. All we know is he got the passport photos. He said he booked the flight. He said he scheduled the surgery, maybe, or he said scheduled the flight. Like, there's a lot of, like, he's just making stuff up at this point. You can't trust everything he's telling us about the steps he's taking. And there's a lot from his history that implies, like, he's just not the sort of guy who would be like, all right, you know what? It's go time. Let's make this thing happen so that I can hop on a plane and go places. And
Yeah. I got to say, I'm kind of the opposite of that. I love being spontaneous and being like, well, fuck it. What's stopping us from getting in the goddamn car right now? You got anything to do Monday? Me either. Fucking pack a bag. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. If we leave now, we'll be there by morning. I've done that so many times. Like just kind of sitting around the house and like there's nothing to do, and just be like, hey, I want to go to Florida a couple days. Yeah. Well, you want to leave tomorrow? And it's like 8 p.m. It's like, let's fucking leave right now. Let's fucking go. There's nothing stopping us. We'll make some coffee. We'll stop, get some Red Bulls. We'll be there by 6 a.m. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's fucking just drive all night. The sun will come up. We'll get some rest and we'll eat some fish tacos at lunch. It'll be great. And we do it. It's a great time. I love being spontaneous and just going somewhere like that, or even catching a flight.
Where do you go in Florida?
All over.
Panhandle.
Cocoa Beach, Tampa, Jacksonville. Those are all good places. I like Tampa a lot. I've been to Tampa so many times, maybe 6-7 times. Cocoa Beach maybe 3 times. Jacksonville maybe 4 times, something like that.
That's interesting.
Yep.
I don't
But
think
all
I'm
those
that
do that too. Like, hey,
spontaneous.
let's drive to Southern Illinois. There's nothing stopping me.
I've done that. I have,
except for common sense.
I have hopped in a car. That was a long time ago. Now I'm more determined. It's usually like, you know what? Here's the thing I'd like to do. Step 1, Jackie says, no, that means nothing. I pay no attention to that. And then there's like some other things I have to like sort of, like the show is a thing. Like I love that I work as little as I do, but on the other side, like there are certain things that have to be done. I have to get the show out on Saturday. I have to be here on Thursday. Like I usually don't mess with the schedule of it, and so there's always like complications to figure out. But I get determined and I do things sometimes.
Yeah, same. Like whenever I've especially like these last few years, like if I've got to travel, it's like, all right, well, this thing will go in a suitcase. I'll just take it apart and I
bought a travel mic.
Yeah, just pack the shit up and go. Hey, it's fun. It's a real, like when you're driving at 4 a.m. to like go somewhere that you just decided to go to 4 hours ago. I really enjoy that. I've done it many times. I like doing that.
It is cool. Yeah,
Usually a girl involved.
Of course.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Did you see Ronda Rousey's interview on ESPN?
No.
All right, so he asks her, he says, is there a chance she'll come back to the sport? She's like, well, I haven't ruled it out. He says, so, and I'm trying to quote him perfectly. He says, so you could go back in time. And she says, no, I'm not capable of time travel. And he's like, but you could go back in time. No, I can't travel through time. Of course, what he means is, in time, you could go back to the sport of mixed martial arts. But she's taking it as, so you could travel back in time and take on Holly Holm, reset the history books. It's either she's playing like an idiot to like fuck with him and like be like, oh man, don't ask me that stupid fucking question. We're here to talk about WWE. Or she's literally taking it. And when I heard it the first time, I was like, man, he phrased that poorly. And he did phrase it poorly because he said, so you could go back in time and no. So you could go back. I want to get it right.
So in time, you could go back would be the way to say it. Right?
Yes. And he said, so you could go back in time. But he didn't even phrase it the way I did or like put the emphasis on time the way I did. He said, so you could go back in time. And she's like, no, I can't fucking travel back in time. What the hell are we talking about right now?
How did she
Cosmos?
look? Was she fat?
I was watching on somebody else's phone.
Oh, okay.
So I last time I saw her, she looked good when she was like walking out for WWE.
She has a tendency to pack on weight sometimes.
Yeah.
I've always thought that she was going to be a not hot ex-athlete. We'll
Well-
see. She's pretty fat.
Looks good. I think she looks pretty good here.
Yeah, she looks good there.
In the thumbnail, she looks good.
Rhonda,
This is a flattering look for her.
Yeah,
I'm
they got
trying
some
to
very
put it
nice
on the
lighting on her,
show.
to be fair. They got that 60 Minutes lighting on her. Very soft.
That
She
skin
looks
flattering.
pretty good, though. I'll tell you. So I've seen Rhonda's face probably more than most people, like, because I watch. She gets fat face, and she doesn't have it right here.
Yeah, she does get fat face. Wow, what a...
She looks cute.
The comments are so kind. She's a pretty dyke. Her match should
She's
be
a
less
pretty
than 10 minutes. Wrestling trash nowadays anyway. Right. All right.
That's funny.
She's a pretty dyke. She's married.
I feel like when you're on top, it's a little easier to be nice to everyone than when you're on the bottom. Like if you're a dick on top, then you're probably a dick. And that's my criticism of Rhonda. You know, when she was a champion, when she was the best woman that's ever been seen, when she was all that stuff, she was still kind of hard to get along with. And I don't have long-standing animosity towards her or anything, but yeah, fuck Rhonda.
Yeah. Sounds like you got some long-standing animosity towards her.
A little bit.
You know, it does. But I guess mostly, I don't want bad things to
Fuck
happen
her.
for her. Yeah, that did sound.
I hope she gets pile drived in the fucking wrestling and gets paralyzed.
I hope
Hope
her
she slips
parents
on the way into
die
the
in
ring.
a car crash, but not just any car crash, a fiery car crash.
I hope you have to live every day knowing that your parents died in a car crash.
Because they were distracted by you getting your ass beat on the radio.
Oh, should we call that a wrap?
Yeah, that's right.